Hello, Argyle family. It's so good to be home with you and see you guys. And you know, Helen and I are now living in our motorhome, as you're aware, and we've been traveling. And I just want to say that God has really been with us and is still directing our steps and taking care of us. We've been to some neat places, but we've met so many amazing people that God has put in our path that have encouraged us when we needed it, but then we've been able to encourage them in the Lord as well and share the good news of Jesus. And we've formed relationships that we hope are going to last a long time. And also, it's been good. It's been good for my mental health, my processing and cognitive issues and confusion spells. They've really reduced. They've been minimized with this lifestyle. So we're just so thankful to God that He's continuing to be with us on these travels. But what I wanted to do today, I wanted to share with you a God moment, one of many that we've experienced, but one that I thought you would appreciate on this trip. And by the way, Helen is here off the side to make sure I get this right. So she may be correcting me. So we were on our way back from Maine, and we were in Athens, Tennessee, which is just north of Chattanooga. There's a small campground there. And we keep our keys to the motorhome and to our car. We keep them on command strips right by our door that we enter the motorhome with. And this was like a couple of days before we were getting ready to go from Athens back down to Chattanooga on the way down here. I don't remember where we were going, but we were getting ready to leave in the morning to go somewhere. And Helen said, do you have the keys to the motorhome? And I said, no. Did you not have them? And then we looked over and the hook by the door was empty. The keys were not there. So we were trying to go, okay, where are the keys? Then it goes through your mind, okay, where were we? Retrace your steps, all those kind of things. And we looked on the floor, we looked under the bed, everywhere we could think of. Could not find them. And this probably went on for at least an hour, could not find them. Well, I get worried really easily, and so now I'm thinking, well, where in the world could we have lost these keys? So we went outside, we looked outside, everywhere we looked, we could not find the keys. Now we had a backup set, but the keys we lost had the one and only key to the gas cap. So if we couldn't find these keys, we couldn't put any fuel in the motorhome to travel. So I called the campground owner, and just to show you where our mind was, we were thinking, well, did somebody sneak in, open the door, and pull the keys off the command strip, which really is ridiculous. But that's where our minds were going. We just couldn't figure out where they were. And we were getting real concerned. So I called the campground owner and kind of almost, gave him the impression we thought somebody had stole the keys. And I think he got a little offended, because he said, we don't run that kind of campground here. And he says, by the way, somebody would really be dumb to do that because we have several undercover police and SWAT officers staying on this campground. So he said, but I would look. Well, then we went outside. We had been walking around the rocky path. We looked in ridiculous places, could not find them. All right, so we got about one day before we were getting ready to leave. I had to call a locksmith to come out and give us a new lock so we could get a new key to put fuel in the motorhome. Still hadn't found the keys. Okay, so at some point we went back in the house, and in the house, what we call our motorhome, Helen has this book called The 21 Most Effective Prayers in the Bible, which I've read once, and we're going through it again, actually. And I read the story about how Abraham's servant, which I think was Eliezer, was sent to find a wife for Isaac, to get Rebekah. And he prayed in there, God, grant me success today, that when I say, can I have a drink at your well, that the woman will also say, let me water your camels, that this be the one for Isaac. And he said, grant me success today. I finished reading that. I went down on my knees because at this point, I didn't know what else to do to find these keys. I was just overwhelmed with worry. I got on my knees and I said, God, I'm surrendering to you right now. I don't know what else to do. Grant me success in finding these keys. You know where they are. Make them available to me. As soon as I got up off my knees, a thought came into my mind. I was just outside a day or so ago in my chair outside. I was talking to Brad on the phone, and I was sitting in my chair outside the motorhome. And Helen didn't know this, or she may have asked, but she didn't know I was outside. And I thought, well, maybe the keys got caught in the chair when I folded it up. So I went to our compartment. I took the chair out, opened it up, I didn't see them. But when I set the chair out and folded it out and set it on the ground, I looked. Right in the cup holder were the keys. Right in the cup holder. And then I remembered, yes, I was talking to Brad on the phone. I had the keys in my hand. I didn't know what to do with them. I put them in the cup holder. And the exhilaration that came over me, that God granted me that success, when I finally surrendered to Him, I couldn't do this on my own and needed your help. And He put that thought in my head. I have no doubt about it. It was exhilarating. It was a God moment to feel how that little thing that He had done to help us find those keys. So then I called the campground owner. I had to tell him what had happened. And he started laughing. It turns out he's a believer. He started laughing and he said, "You have made my day to hear how God has worked in your life to find these keys, and I'm going to share that story with others. Thank you for calling me." So did God not only encourage us, it increased my faith in Him, but it encouraged someone else just to hear the story. So, moral of the story is, for me and maybe for you, God always knows what's going on. If we'll just submit and surrender to Him, really surrender to Him, He can make things happen. And I just thought that was a great encouragement for Helen and me, and I thought maybe it would encourage you to as well. Hey, we love you guys. This will always be our home. God bless.